Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative coming at you with the House of the Dragons Season 2 Episode 3 review. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe. And if you are returning, thank you so much for rocking with us. We get into a lot of things. And House of the Dragon is definitely deserving of us spending some time talking about it. So the first scene shows us this old Bracken versus Blackwood battle simmering, but then coming to a boiling point for sure. The first time the show had kind of addressed this beef between the Brackens and the Blackwoods was actually season 1, when, remember, Rhaenyra was looking for her husband, her booting. She went to the Trident, and there were two people that dueled for her affection, but one of them died, and neither of them, got her hand because she ended up marrying Rhaenyra and then Daemon, right? So in the books, these two people that fight are the generals, Samuel Blackwood and Amos Bracken. But in the show, they changed their names to Willem Blackwood and Gerald Bracken. And these two that fought for Rhaenyra's hand are the same ones that are gonna lead the fight that is known as the Battle of the Burning Mill. But here in season 2, especially since in season 1, one of them got killed off, right? You only have named, I believe, Aaron Bracken, right? Because he's the one that basically pops the drama off, because there's this kind of land dispute, and the Blackwoods, are like, why y'all Brackens is trying to encroach on our land? You make your cows trying to, get our stuff. And then the Bracken's like, nah, man, this is Bracken land. And then the Aaron Bracken guy walks off and then calls the Blackwoods babe killers, which is the propaganda that the Greens were spreading about Rhaenyra after, the blood and cheese incident. So the drama pops off, and the way it crumbles was, the mill gets burned because the Brackens attacked on behalf of Aegon, because they claimed for the Greens, whereas the Blackwoods, they, pledged to Rhaenyra. So them two groups fighting pops off the Battle of the Burning Mill, and it really makes both sides know that, hey, this is actually like war for real, for real. So on Team Black side, shout out to all the other Team Black supporters like myself. We see the twins, Eric and Arik, have their funeral. There's not many people down to the funeral. You basically see Rhaenys and Rhaenyra. And Rhaenyra rightly guesses that Otto Hightower has nothing to do with this, Parent Trap twin plot. And Rhaenys actually suggests that Rhaenyra uses Alicent, for peace negotiation. And Rhaenyra, in the moment, says, nah, chill, because that lady's son is sitting on my throne right now, so I'm not really trying to go there. But you're gonna see Rhaenyra is very capable of changing her mind, like she's done, with Mysaria and lots of other situations in the show, because she actually is one of the few people thinking in this stage of the game. And right now she's saying no, but I did like to see her in her best silent sister realness disguise later on, but that's neither here nor there yet, because the next major scene is Criston Cole. And Criston Cole, he's in his new role as the Hand of the King, and he's at his first council meeting as Hand, and Aemon and a whole bunch of other warmongering men are there. And Alicent kind of tries to stand up to the men, but Criston Cole actually kind of leads the charge of ignoring her, and they plot for him and a couple of his best knights to go right out to war. So then you see Team Black, Mysaria and Rhaenyra meet up, And Rhaenyra actually, asks Mysaria, well, you helped me. Would you want to reward Mysaria? I was like, no, you probably should give me a reward because I helped you. So then Rhaenyra's like, yeah, maybe, we could arrange a little something, something. And Mysaria's like, well, what I want out of it mainly is revenge on the High Towers because they destroyed my stuff. And then Mysaria and Rhaenyra see sea smoke acting up in the sky because he's like, oh, loud, where's Laenor? He lost his buddy for now, but remember, there are all these dragon seeds, and if you want to know more about them, check out my Easter egg videos on my channel. But then you also see that Rhaenyra is plotting to send her baby children far away from Dragonstone to protect them, and she wants to ask Rhaena to help watch the babies in her stead. And of course, Daemon is dragging back on Correx. He's scaring all the children and the people that's not really around when he goes to claim Harrenhal. I mean, there were a few people yelling, but by the time he really gets in there, it's like one guard. And then you see Simon Strong. And you also see a little glimpse of Alice Rivers, looking on when Daemon says, listen, I'm claiming Harrenhal. And Simon's like, bet, I'm going to pledge for, the blacks and Queen Rhaenyra. And then Daemon looking at Simon Strong like, this can't be this easy. What is wrong with you? And then Simon's like, listen, there's no catch. There's no fight for me. And then Damon's like, well, what about your, wicked relative Larys who's, fool-la-lying with the Greens right now. And then Larys says, sorry. Simon says that Larys is a clubfoot fool that he don't care nothing about. And I hollered when he just used the clubfoot term. And he also basically says that he knows that Larys killed, his relatives, Harwin, Strong, and them because Harrenhal's always wet. So what are the chances that a random fire, killed them people? So he was like, clearly it was arsenic. Clearly that Larys has something to do with it. He's totally right. So Daemon's more convinced that, all right, these people are going to be with me. And he tells Simon that his plan is to take Harrenhal, basically fill it with troops, and then take King's Landing and the throne from there. See again Sir Criston Cole, but to me it looked like he got a little supercut haircut randomly, but Alicent introduces her brother to him and tells Tristan, no, you taking him with you. And then he asks for her blessing, so she gives him her little handkerchief. It might have been her panties in there, who knows, because them two, are together. And then when, she slipped him the little handkerchief bundle, the brother was looking and side-eyeing a little bit, so I think he knows what's going on a little bit. And then back at the Black Council is a whole bunch of warmongering men who end up getting checked by Rhaenyra and Rhaenys. And Rhaenyra tells them they need to wait on Daemon and not plan nothing without her. And Rhaenys gives them a good speech about, y'all better recognize that this is like a ruler, she's the descendant of the people that actually held the kingdom together the longest, so y'all better respect. And Rhaenys is such a cool character because she's so strong. She could have been a great queen, the queen that never was. But then you see Rhaenys having a little scene with the sea snake, her husband, and they have a little combo about him not being as injured anymore, and also, her saying goodbye to Rhaena because, she's going off with the babies of Rhaenyra. And then you see Rhaenyra and Jace also saying goodbye to the babies and Rhaena right before giving Rhaena some dragon eggs that they think is going to help seal the protection deal for the little children. So now that Otto Hightower is gone, you see Larys trying to get in good with Aegon even more, and he's whispering in Aegon's ear about the rumors that Aegon's being tricked into, leaving and going off to war so that Queen Alicent could sneak and rule. And then I realized that he must not like Alicent's feats no more. He must know that them feats, been seeing Sir Criston Cole, because he's worming his way to Aegon, and it works because Aegon officially promotes Larys to Master of the Whisper. So, you see Aegon, kind of thinking about what Larys said and be like, hey, am I being tricked into, not being able to rule? And is Alicent trying to snake me kind of thing? And, he decides maybe he is gonna stay back and not fly the dragons and hang out with his soldiers, or the King's Guard rather. And they're sitting there telling him that there's one of them that ain't, been with a woman, so they're trying to get him to lose his virginity. And Aegon's like, wait, aren't y'all supposed to be having vows of purity? He's very naive. Because clearly, the one he just promoted is not pure with his mama. But he's just in armor that, belongs to the old king. Trying to fill, these rulers' shoes literally. But he's very confused. He don't know who to listen to, who to turn to. So he's just about to just hang out with these people that go to his baser instincts, I guess. You see Ulf the White, and if you didn't know, he was another seed who was able to become a dragon rider. He basically says it himself in the episode. He's been around town, like stealing stuff and looking at stuff, kind of showing the perspective of the small folk of the people in town. But now you see him, differentiate himself from the small folk. And like Hugh the Hammer, he has the, Valyrian blood. And he's telling the people that he specifically is a bastard brother of Daemon and Viserys. But you can kind of see the groundwork being laid for him to be not exactly perfectly loyal to Rhaenyra and them, because he basically says that he's got the white hair, but Rhaenyra's brown hair bastard sons don't, So even though he's a bastard, he's side-eyeing Jacaerys and the brown hair strong children. So I don't like that. And I think it is foreshadowed that he's not completely down for all what the blacks got going on. But while he's at this house of ill repute, down to like the bar side of it or the pub side of it, who gonna walk in but Aegon and them no goods King's Guard or soldiers, whatever. And Aegon talking about, yeah, drinks on me. And then you see Aegon choose violence and go straight to Aemon's favorite lady, mom, prostitute, And Aemon is caught out. I think this scene was the most violent scene in the whole episode. Forget, the little fight between the Blackwoods and the Brackens. Forget, Daemon on his dragon rolling up on the guards in Harrenhal. This was the most violent scene with Aegon rolling up on Aemon and, just violating him on every level. He got his friends looking at him naked. He separates him from his, little lady friend. And he basically kicks him out and say, hey, you're not going to get her services no more because I'm the king and I want her services to go to this, soldier. And at Aemon, he's molded, this is like his little personal time for him to work out all his psychological and sexual problems. And Aegon done ruined it, and anything that goes down between these brothers is Aegon's fault because this was a violation. And again, there's that whole second son thing that Aemon has, besides being bullied, you have this brother that really don't deserve to be king, whereas Aemon is probably more deserving. In a lot of ways, he's got the biggest dragon. His head is more in the game. And look at this, Aegon just fooling around. Well, Aemon's trying to get his life together, and he's getting kind of bullied once again. So it's up and stuck with these people, right? So next you see Sir Criston Cole and his men get spied on by Baela, because Baela was supposed to keep watch, to see if the green side would do any moves. So then Baela gets to try to dive on him with her dragon, but Sir Kristen peeped the dragon as well and tells his little group of men to run through the trees right before Baela can Dracarys their little sorry selves. But Baela then runs and tells the Black Council about Kristen, and they basically start begging for the Battle of Rook's Rest, but Rhaenyra is dragging her feet. So then you see Daemon again in Harrenhal, getting rolled up on by his sins, and Alice Rivers. Now, we can't tell if, the vision that he saw of young Rhaenyra and the headless little baby Jaehaerys was, on his own, like if he was sleepwalking and dreaming this, but we definitely know that maybe some witchcraft was going on. He definitely saw Alice Rivers because this is the second time he sees her this episode. This was her in her witchy poo era, and now that, Aegon done embarrassed Aemond in front of, the little lady prostitute surrogate mommy or like substitute mommy rather, at the brothel, Aemond is gonna need another older lady lover, and this is where Alice Rivers is gonna slide on in. But Alice Rivers, she's in her full witchy poo, prophetic era in this scene, because she basically tells Daemon that he's gonna go on to glory and meet his maker right there, right? So then we get to the best part of the episode, or the end of the episode, where Rhaenyra done plotted with the White Worm to find Alicent for a face-to-face meeting down to the church. And you see Rhaenyra in her best sister act habit, and she meets Alicent in the church. And instead of bringing, singing skills like Whoopi Goldberg did, Rhaenyra got a shank up her sleeve, and she goes to Alicent while Alicent is lighting her little hypocrite candles, and she pulls out the knife and is like, listen, if you make a move, know that your guards may get me, but I am taking you with me. You're going to got first before I do. So then Alicent's like, really? And then there's like, yeah, I guess I started this wrong. So they start reminiscing, or Rhaenyra tries to get her to reminisce. She's like, remember we used to watch duels together? But it's too late for all that bull, because Rhaenyra's trying to broker peace. And Alicent says that, are you going to totally surrender? Because if not, ain't no peace to be had. So then Alicent tells Rhaenyra that Viserys wanted Aegon to be king. And Rhaenyra called her a liar, but again, she's very reasonable. She wants to listen to what everybody says. So she asks Alicent, what did Viserys tell her on her deathbed that got her thinking disillusion? And then when Alicent said he spoke of Aegon and the promised prince, that's when Rhaenyra puts two and two together and was like, nah, you telling me that Viserys was telling you about the song of ice and fire, and you went and made it about that son of yours that be jacking off in windows and having bastards all around? Like, Rhaenyra tells her, like, no, boo-boo, you are mistaken. The promised prince and all that, that Viserys was talking about on his deathbed was the song of ice and fire prophecy. And she tells Alicent, she made a mistake. But Alicent, she's kind of in denial, but she also kind of has no power herself. So she's like, it's all too late. And then the episode goes off. And really, it's just very sad that Rhaenyra is trying to do everything she can to take the path of least resistance, not have so many people die. But it is kind of already too late. So this is the first time Alicent was kind of more right than Rhaenyra. But say how you feel about the episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try to see if maybe I'll do a off the white Easter egg dive video, but I'm on vacation. So if I don't, just remember you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.